The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
What's good with y'all this morning, man? I wanted to react to this interview because Nas has set the precedent in hip hop at the age that he is that, you know, I appreciate what he's doing. I want to learn from it. I want to be inspired by it so I can continue to create. I haven't dropped an album in a couple of years, and I know people that's newly subscribed or just now being familiar with my content don't know much about my music, but I got a playlist on the YouTube channel where you can go check out my music. Also, I feel like I'm a high level creator myself, and seeing what the older individuals have been doing in 2025 has been inspiring me. And I just want to check out this conversation between Havoc and Nas. I didn't even know Havoc had his own platform until this interview came up on my, notifications a couple of hours ago. And it was late at night that this was released. So let's react to it. And in the comment section, I would hope that y'all would want to converse with me and let's further the discussion. Let's get into it though.
4-5, and I told you I got a special guest in the building, a good friend of mine's. We go way back, way back, and I'm just happy to have him here. Yeah. Escobar 600 himself, ladies and gentlemen. Nasir Jones, make some noise.
What's up, baby? What's up, Kiko?
Yo, thank you for coming in today, man.
Appreciate you, of course, man.
Word.
Of course, I heard you was doing this. I said, damn, this is crazy.
Word.
It's dope.
Thank you. I mean, like, how you feeling, man? What's going on with you?
Everything, man. I feel great. Everything is good, man. It's like fall is my favorite season.
True.
And this month, Mobbtober, is really a good month.
Mobbtober.
You know.
Mobbtober.
So I feel, man, good to be here with you, man. It's like, like catching up with you is always cool, man.
It's crazy because we've been running into each other. The Infinite album is coming out on Mass Appeal, which is Nas's label. You know what I'm saying? The album out now. Make sure you cop that. And recently I bumped into you. You opened up a restaurant in Vegas.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, it was a vibe, and you was there. I was appreciating that, man, because we come a long way. So
yeah,
to open up in Vegas, shout out to Simon Kim, is all his ideas, and shout out to Peter Bittenbender. We're partners, and yeah, so that was a great thing to do, and just having you in the building just put extra blessings on it. So appreciate you even pulling up, man.
Yo, that party was so crazy, man. I
Good
mean, like,
time.
Let me tell you something. I bumped into Dr. Dre at your party, bro.
Yes.
You know, I never met Dr. Dre before.
Nah, stop playing.
Yo, I'm dead ass. I never met Dr. Dre before in my life. And to see him,
wow.
And I had on my shades, and he had walked by me, and one of my people was like, yo, Dre, this is Hab, but the music is up or whatever. He didn't even recognize me, who I was, so he just gave me a dap. But later on, minutes later, he came back, was like, oh shit, nigga, like, I ain't know this with you. He's like, yo, I took my shades off, and I started talking to him, and he was like, yo, man, your brothers inspired me. And I'm like, I'm looking at this nigga like inspired you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got these kind of people coming to your party.
Yeah. Shout out to Dre.
Word, shout out to Dr. Dre. Like, how is it like hanging with people like Dr. Dre and all these, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy.
I met Dre in like 94 at this club called Grand Slam in LA. I don't know if you ever been there.
No.
It was Prince's club.
Okay.
So, but this club was everything. It was crazy. So I met Dre back then. I had a show. I only had like 3 songs at the time because I think either album was coming out, was about to come out, or just came out. So I just came out there with this glass of Henny and performed New York State of Mind. I was like, oh wow, somebody said Dre wanted to meet you. He's upstairs. So afterwards we went upstairs, and I think it was, I I didn't know who Suge Knight was. I thought he was with 3 football players. But later on, I realized that was Knight. And so the guys on Death Row, that was a part of the team. And Dre just kicked it off right. And then I was blown away that he even knew who I was and would even show up the way I was performing because I was so new. So, you know, we kicked it off from there. We worked on it was written later. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that Hav was like asking him the question, what is it like kicking it with people like Dr. Dre? You know, I don't, you know, Hav gotta know. I think he might be doing this question because he asked that question because he's thinking about the listener. But, you know, Dr. Dre and Nas kicking it probably is regular shit because, you know, Dr. Dre produced the Firm album in its entirety. The one with Nature, Foxy Brown, AZ, and Nas. I feel like Nas and AZ owe us a collaborative album also. They just owe it to us. They haven't missed yet ever since they've done records together. They owe us a collaborative album. But I want to say something about, you know, that Firm album. To me, outside of Doggy Style and a few of Eminem projects, I feel like that might be one of his best produced albums, Dr. Dre, that gets overlooked because it wasn't like a big album that transcended time. A lot of people, if you wasn't around at that time, you might not know about that. But that Firm album is like a legendary album, especially some of Foxy Brown's bars on that. I think Nas might have wrote some of them bars the way she was kicking shit on there. But I want to say something about Dr. Dre to me. Listening to that new Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre album, I think it's called Doggy Style. It was something that was opposite of Doggy Style, but uh, Half is a very humble individual because Dr. Dre actually to me is overrated. I know that's gonna sound like hate, but I'm not hating. Just hear me out for a second. Majority of his biggest production is samples that songs that was already big. Just hear me out. Most of those songs that was big that Dr. Dre produced was samples that was songs that was already big. So how I've got to start viewing. I ain't gonna tell him what he got to do, but man, he's one of the coldest to ever exist. And I just appreciate his creativity. I don't want to hate on Dr. Dre. He's a GOAT. He's one of the best to ever do it also. But you know, don't belittle yourself to big somebody else.
Right. And that was an ill project. I remember
You on that? You on that album?
No doubt.
Yo,
And I
crazy
remember,
record.
I think I remember you completed the project, and I think you were shooting. No. You shot your video. I
Yeah.
believe.
If I Ruled the World, because
the world.
we shot in the hood, and y'all was there.
And you
y'all
played the
pulled up.
album for me. You was like, yo, Hab, listen to this. And I'm just sitting in the back seat. I got in your car at the time. We chilling next to River Park. And you playing the shit for me. And I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking, like, incredible. You took it to, like, the next level. Like, for real. Like, that shit wasn't fair. Like, the way...
I had to do something, Hab. Y'all dropped Infamous. It was crazy. Y'all dropped Infamous. I mean, it just took the world over. I remember the hood, our hood.
Yeah.
When Shook Ones dropped. And you know how it is when every car is driving by playing your records. That's a hell of a feeling, right?
Yes.
When everybody's walking around with the radios playing your record. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, y'all made the music that really fit the hood and shaped it in a way that has never been done. And I was like, I can't do this. This is, how did they do this? So I'm like, I'm bugging off y'all. So I had to figure out something, man. Y'all made me go back to the drawing board, man.
It's crazy listening to two individuals that's humble, but I got another take. I'm sorry for pausing it, y'all. But what's unique about this whole situation is that, you know, what he's doing in Mass Appeal is very interesting because he's collaborating with people who he respects artistry. You know, age doesn't matter. Sales doesn't matter. Getting hype from the youth don't matter. It's just this is the people that I respect. Um, it's crazy hearing him speak about the hood and speaking about collaborating and respecting their artistry and all of that because I come from a place, man, to where like the people that you come up with and grow up with, they hate you when you're successful. You know, If you're doing good in something, they want to do better. They competing with you. That's one thing that I really don't like about our community or the community that I come from, because I don't think it's like that everywhere. But competing when we could be collaborating. Stop competing with niggas and collaborate with niggas because you want to see them win, you want to see them evolve also. Come together as a team effort. And I like what he's doing by bigging up Raekwon the Chef, bigging up Ghostface Killer, bigging up Slick Rick, bringing De La Soul back to life. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy and Havoc, and supporting Havoc, and he's humbling himself, speaking to Havoc, bringing, you know, these artists out and bringing them to the light because he is in the forefront now. It's just something that should be celebrated, man.
Yo,
I had to figure it out.
that
Pressure.
the pressure,
Pressure.
with the peer pressure.
That's the early Mob. That's the early Mob.
Nah,
Yeah.
but the album was dope. It was crazy dope, and I just was like that put the fire to me, like, cause I was like, damn, I'm like, what I'm gonna do next or whatever it is. But I was happy to hear that, and then you took off as usual and things of that nature. I want to pivot to an obsession of mine that I have, and this obsession is YouTube. I'm like obsessed with YouTube, right? I go down a bunch of rabbit holes. And,
me too.
You know, the algorithm is just crazy, and I stumbled upon this video where it was you recently. Out nowhere with no security, and you just and somebody's recording. They go, look, this Nas, he just pulled up to the hood. This is who he is. Look at that, no security, all his jewelry. Look at this. What's the importance of you pulling up to the hood whenever you want to and being able to? What is that special to you? Do that mean something to you? Because you larger than life.
Oh man,
No,
that's you.
That's you. No, you larger than life. What does that mean to you to be able to pull up to your own hood, QB, where we from, and the love is just everywhere?
Oh man, it's crazy. You know what's crazy about going back to around the way? I would go around when Left had the spot. Our boy Left had the spot, Zoe's. So I would go there at nighttime when it would be just the adults around, like so the kids wouldn't be just loud and going crazy. It would be just the older guys, and I'd hang out there all night. It got too good to me at some point, you know. But the crazy part is seeing people that you grew up around. You see, tell you to get out the street. Get it, you know, when you just a little kid, little naughty head kid. I'm just a little naughty head kid running around, boy. And these are people that kind of raised me like a village out there. And to see them and they're a little older but still kicking, or hearing about somebody who passed away who was like a kind of older guardians in the neighborhood, you know, and seeing their kids. So I'm like, man, I knew your dad, I know your pops, I know your moms, and these are now the young, you know, strong people that's in the neighborhood. And I remember some of them when they was in baby carriages. Right. So that's really a trip for me because, you know, you go through emotional things too sometimes, you know. So it's beautiful because it's where we from, and it's like it takes you back. Yeah.
I love seeing that. It was something special about seeing that because a lot of time, and I resonated with it a lot because sometimes I like secretly just drive through QB with the tents and just because I don't want to make too much noise. I just want to, you know what I mean? Right. And so when I saw that, that was really special to me.
You just shot the video out there.
Against the world. Yeah, we did it right against the world. Yeah. And speaking of against the world, I wanted to talk about Legend Has It and how did you come up with this idea with so many artists that we grew up listening to, and how does that make you, you know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
Oh man, I mean, first of all, I kind of have this love-hate relationship with the word legend. I'm sure you probably do too, but Legend Has It is more about the word is on the street about some great shit about to happen. Was a cool thing I felt because Slick Rick would be the first record that came out. So I was thinking like, yo, the music I listen to mostly is Raekwon, is Ghostface, is Slick Rick, is De La, is Big L, it's Biggie, it's Pac, and on and on. So that's just a natural thing for me to want to do, to rock with my guys. You know what I'm saying? So it was not really that deep of a thought. It was like, it was more about how to make it happen. Can it happen? Because this would be like a dream. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is unbelievable, man. Like I couldn't believe it. Oh,
I posted a clip of him saying that, earlier this week, and I seen people say he didn't mention Jay Z, even though, you know, I don't want to talk about Jay Z and their beef or whatever. Even though he said on and on. What's interesting about that statement that he made about a love hate thing with the word legend, people will use the word legend and say it as if they're making a statement about age and ageism and being old and all of that. And that doesn't mean that you're old, that you're a legend. It just means that you have accomplished something. That's how I view the word legend. But the word legend has it like something is about to happen, something that somebody legendary is about to do. That's interesting that they chose to use that as a rollout for all of these artists that he was highlighting. The last thing I want to say, going to the hood, I didn't speak about that when I didn't let the clip stop because it's dangerous, big dog. Boosie said it best. Uh, most people die in their own communities because people hating. QB must be a different place, and Nas must have a different love out there because my neighborhood, man, I ain't never going back. And I don't care what nobody think about me out there. I ain't never going back. I'm traumatized. I might ride through and slide out, but I ain't going back. I'm traumatized from all the things that happened that was unnecessary, all the lives that was lost, and all of the trauma that I saw. I ain't never going back. I can't do it.
What, like, man, what made you want to grab the Mobb Deep project? Like, and when it was the opportunity came, like, what was your thoughts on that?
what? You crazy? It's Mobb Deep. I mean, it's Mobb Deep. Which Mobb Deep is pure. Mobb Deep was original when it came out and it hit the scene. So what you represent set the example for what was to come later in rap music. So everybody took a page out of your book from saying lyrically a way that nobody could do it, especially at the time. Your production is like the best production in the world. Like when you mentioned Dre, I see you in the lines of it coming up. Like you had to probably been listening to all the great producers from Bomb Squad and this one and that one to even have that type of ear. Marley Marl, because he's from around the way.
Right.
Your ear is crazy. So Mobb Deep, the opportunity. Come on, man. Like who gets those type of opportunities, especially because we haven't heard from Prodigy.
Right.
We couldn't hear from Prodigy because of his untimely passing.
Right.
And to have more Prodigy verses that never been heard, stuff y'all were working on, to me is like a gift to the world. It's a gift to all of us. So to have Mobb Deep have a new album and to be a part of that, come on, cut off my hand to trade.
I don't think that Havoc understand the impact of who he is and the impact of what he has had on the culture, especially production wise. And I don't want to minimalize his rapping skills and his ability because he's a hell of a rapper. And I never thought I would get a posthumous Mobb Deep album, but it was orchestrated well. This is a crazy album to me to be getting this in 2015. Prodigy has been gone for a while, but I want to say something that I'm interested in happening, and I wish I could be a part of that needs to happen. You know, Nas, he's the most talented and he is the most inspirational for me, and he has the best wordplay for me. But my favorite artist is Pimp C, and I would love to get a posthumous UGK album. Their last album was nominated for a Grammy with International Players Anthem and all of those great songs, Quit Hating the South and stuff like that on there. If I could get a posthumous Pimp C album, I would pay $100 for that album. I know that it would be fire. And I would love to hear it over some great production. Somebody like Juicy J would have to produce it, or, Corey Moe or something like that. But I would be thankful for that. Real talk.
Man, I can't think of a better to y'all out there. The Infamous album is out right. The Infinite album is out right now, so make sure y'all go cop that. To have I couldn't even think of a better place to have the album out. Other than doing it with you and Mass Appeal. So I want to say thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that.
You, brother.
Appreciate that. But now I want to talk about the mogul Nas. The motherfucking mogul Nas. I know you for a long time. Yes. For back in the days before we both had a deal and we had these dreams and these aspirations. And one thing that I noticed about you is that you was very smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, street smart, but also I seen you with books, like reading books and things of that nature. You always, made yourself knowledgeable about the world and things of that nature. What did you always see yourself as an entrepreneur? You was going to be an entrepreneur one day, or is it like a mentor said, "Hey, on the entrepreneurial path"?
In no order. The buildings in Manhattan, seeing those things since we was kids.
Right.
Those things right there, they did something to me, man. And just being in the street where we just had to feel like we could fall any day, and we need to stay strong, and we got to survive this obstacle course called the streets. It was a education and a half.
Right.
And I said, okay, how do we survive that? What does it mean to survive it? Because I've seen many people in the streets survive it and then still can't get out.
Right.
So then it's like different tests that come. So if I'm gonna be constantly tested, I'm gonna go hard.
Right.
And I'm gonna push this thing to the limit.
Right.
And I had tons of inspiration from Barry Gordy, Motown. I remember all the big success stories, big business stories. I mean, I had as a kid, I also had, besides the Tech 9, and before the Tech 9 and the dresser,
Word.
Yo, this funny.
Word.
We could talk like this now, right?
Man, yeah.
And before anything happened to me streetwise, I was a kid and I compartmentalized things in my drawer from comic books that I was working on, which is cool. We doing Marvel now.
Right.
My own ones that I was writing and drawing. I know you nice with the pen too, as far as drawing.
And not to cut you off, if y'all don't know, I'm sure they know, you probably told them before, but you are an ill artist. Like, you draw. I've actually seen your drawings. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's
You used to come to the crib back in the days and all that, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I seen all of that. So when I see you know now who you are, and when I cross
all of that.
I remember all of that, you know what I mean? I just knew that you was gonna be great. And I had a story when they asked me, like, when you first kind of started hanging out with each other when we became teenagers again. Yeah. You know what I mean, right? Like hanging out with you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember knowing that you rapped, like, and because that was the word in the hood that, Nas, he could rap.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really, didn't take it that serious. So I remember you Bo,
Yeah.
and you know what's his name, Joe Ma.
Yeah,
Joe Ma.
yeah.
We on the block, and you like, oh, you like, yeah, go ahead, rap, go ahead, rap. So I do my little raps, and then it was your turn to go, and I just wanted to walk off the fucking block. I was like,
I enjoy the stories though, but I gotta keep the conversation going because I feel like something that was said in that it can be very inspirational to somebody else that comes up from like a place that I come up from. Like I'm originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, but I've lived and I traveled the world. Uh, he said what inspired him to be a mogul. And I talk to a lot of individuals that's young about location and how important location is. And when he said the buildings of Manhattan, New York City, and just seeing that, I didn't come from that. Like I come from a place where it wasn't no buildings. It was like energy to just give up. You know, just give up, man. Ain't nothing better. This is the world. This is your world. And then when I started traveling and seeing the world, and I started seeing that it was more, I was so hungry. I was so hungry that it didn't make no sense just to be able to travel and go. I would have left everything and just been homeless just to change my environment because Knoxville, Tennessee is a beautiful city though, but it's not a city for a dreamer. I can only imagine being from New York and being a dreamer at the same time and an artist and listening to him speak about his artistry and Havoc talking about him drawing and stuff like that. It just speaks to a bigger vision that everybody should have of themselves. Keep creating. Don't let your job, don't let your relationship, don't let your family members, don't let nothing get best of you. Keep creating. Don't be a consumer. That's the reason I be on this podcast all the time because I'm a creator. I gotta keep creating. The form of therapy for me just to have these conversations, to listen to these conversations, to respond to y'all in the comment section, for y'all to be able to say what y'all want to say. And even if I disagree or you disagree with me, it's just therapeutic. Keep creating, man. Keep dreaming.
I was like, yo, this is not fair. And you was dope then, and then you did Live at the Barbecue, which was crazy.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was so crazy to me.
But you was lyrical and you can see that you had something. And I was like, oh, this dude right here is dope. Like, cause you from 12th Street and walk through the hood, come to my side, that meant we really rock with each other.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would go over there and I see you too. And I'm like, yo, this is my guy. And I said, nah, I gotta beat bro to it because he's next up. He's next up. I seen it in you. You was always super
man.
lyrical, bro.
You super
and then your
nice.
name was Havoc.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, how did Key
Right.
find that name? And I'm like, see, we know each other's names, right? First and
Government
last
names,
government, bro.
yeah.
And that's how it was. So yeah, man, like I always knew there's something in the water, bro. Like
Absolutely.
I think Roxanne Shante says that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
something in the water in the bridge, man.
Yeah.
You know, because we come from a strong musical community.
Marley Marl.
Shan,
Yes.
Craig G, Traj,
Right.
Poet.
Right.
It was, and then the unsung heroes out there that was
Yeah.
nice with it too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we was just kind of like the next up.
I think that was the proverbial water, right?
Yes.
The lineage that we came from. That's the water that we drink from that well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know,
Fact.
okay, the legend has it. We got Legend has it. Did the Comic Con thing. You're an artist, so we're doing this, comic book series, which I believe is really really dope. And are you looking forward to like doing more things like that? Is this a one off, or just to give just to make it like on some like it's obscure and to give it more value? It's kind of like a one off, or you might.
I want us to do an animated series.
Right.
That would be cool.
Right.
I mean, there should be. I think there's a Mobb Deep comic coming. I think we're gonna all have our all individual comics. I want to say too much too soon, but I want to see more. It's fun.
Nah, that shit
It's
is
fun. It's cool because like I'm still a kid. Comes to that, I'm
right.
like,
And you're a real life superhero. You're a real life superhero.
Yo,
You know what I
yo,
mean?
that's what we are, man.
No doubt.
That's what we are.
Before we get up out of here, I cannot let you go without. I did a couple of interviews before, and I joke and say, "Yo, Nas is a sneaky motherfucker. He's sneaky," and I'm gonna tell you why he's sneaky. Because he made us put out Taj Mahal, and the next thing you know, he's owning a casino. That was slick. That was real slick. That was slick.
Yo, there's a lot of casino talk. There's a lot of casino talk at Taj Mahal. I see where you're going with it.
Right. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations on the casino in Queens.
Thank you, bro.
How did that make you feel when y'all won the bid?
Yeah,
the approval.
The bid. It felt great because we mean business, and we have a lot more work to do to really push it all the way over the line in New York City. But we care so much about not just Queens, but the whole city. We have so many great plans for people, for the kids.
Right.
And it's just something that's like right along the things that I was gonna manifesting for a long time.
Right.
And so we'll see. We're gonna see some great things happen really soon. So I feel great about it. Yeah.
That was the end of the conversation, but what I want to say, and I want to tell y'all, never give up, man. Keep creating. This guy's in his 50s and he's having a peak moment. I heard ageism in hip hop and in the culture where people, they be trying to age people out, but Nas is in his 50s and having a peak moment. Just this year, the label highlighting individuals that he respect. This Marvel thing is interesting to me, to where he's going to have comics, hip hop comics, and he's going to have his own individual, people have their own individual comic book. I'm going to buy all them comics because they're going to be collector's items. A casino. I'm not too much of a fan of a casino because I know what it does to communities, though, but I understand the financial benefit and, who he is and what he's doing business-wise. This is a special moment. I appreciate tuning into my show, man. Let's further this conversation in the comment section below. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money, and I'm gone.